make sure I understand.
What's the question?
Yes, I want to make sure I understand. So I need to give 2 calls to action, essentially asking for a response from the audience, and then at the end, the same.
So there's 2 different things. The call and response is, if y'all feel like y'all mailbox millionaires, say I'm a mailbox millionaire.
I'm a mailbox millionaire.
If that's you, say that's me in the chat. That's the call and response, right?
Got it. Got it.
Call to action is, let's say you're talking about forgiveness, right? Maybe your speech is about forgiveness. I want you to call up 2 people after this. After I finish speaking, I want you to call up 2 people and forgive them. You know, tell them that you forgive them. And, you know, just really explain in a way where you're not making them look bad or making them feel bad, you know, just something like that. That's the call to action. Call to action is something that you want them to do on their own. And it's a prompt. So whether that's like your photo, whether that's DM, whether that's comment, whether that's, you know, whatever action that you want them to take. But you must give them a call to action, right? So when you started off, what you said was, have you ever felt what? What did you say? Have you ever felt abandoned?
Abandoned, yes.
So you got to give them time to answer that. So in the beginning, you probably don't want to. There's no wrong thing, y'all. You can start out with a question, but I would say just come straight in with it. Come straight in with it, and then go into the have you ever felt abandoned? Right? Like just come straight into whatever your story is. Then you kind of give them a little bit, and then you ask, have you ever felt abandoned? Because we want them to connect. Another way to do that too is you can get up and you can say, hey, look. So right now, what I want to do is this. I want to connect with all of my people who've ever felt like they've been mistreated. I want to connect with all of the people who've ever felt they've been put in a position of opposition. And you just kind of go into that whole thing, but you want to build it up a little bit. You just don't want to just go in with a question, because now everybody's just looking around like, maybe. So, all right, cool. Let's start it from the top, and we're going to record this, and then you got 2 minutes on the.
Okay, I'm ready. I was abandoned September 1st, 2003, all alone except my 10-month-old baby. And then I found out I was pregnant. Have you ever felt abandoned? I mean, really, tell me. Have you ever felt abandoned? Listen to my story. My husband left me. I had no family anywhere near me. All I had was my job. I literally felt like he had dropped me off with my child in the desert and told us to make it back the best way we could. No water, no transportation. I literally felt all alone. How was I going to make it? Have you ever felt like that? I know you felt like that. It's okay to admit it. Seriously, have you ever felt like that? Well, I did. I knew I had to make it. When I looked in my little baby's eyes, I knew if I couldn't do it for me, I had to do it for her. I had to push forward. Literally, all I could do was get up, pray, and go to work. My coworkers jumped in. They began to help and support me. They began to help me with different chores and things that I needed to be done. They became my family. Women gathering around together to help and support me. My neighbors joined in and helped me out with babysitting and fixing things around the house. The daycare joined in and keeping my baby a little longer so that I could stay at my job and keep my job. Then I had my baby. So now here I am with a family away from home. But my coworkers, my friends, my neighbors, the daycare all joined in to help and support me. And now I am engaged to a man who not only loves me, he loves my children. Can you say keep it moving? I need to hear you say keep it moving.
Keep it
because
moving.
That's exactly what I did. Put it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Keep it moving. And so I kept the faith. I kept it moving. And the power to keep going is what has me here today. If you can't do it for you, do it for your children. Do it for your coworkers. Do it for your neighbors. But most of all, do it for you. Say never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up.
I need to hear it like you mean it.
Never give
Never
up.
give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. Keep it moving and never give up.
All right, great stuff. Everybody send some love in the chat. Let's just continue to go. Good stuff, Brendetta. I'm gonna give feedback to everybody at the end. And it just would be one whole thing as a feedback. It's not gonna be individual. We just want to comb through all of this. Great job. Let's send some love in the chat if you haven't already. Let's go with Queen Lamar.
Okay. So I wrote about someone else, but it's a friend of mine. Well, okay. How many of you fallen in love with someone so fast that you believe he or she was your everything? You put all your hopes and dreams into that one person. You think you love them so much that you would even put up with the mental and physical abuse just to keep them around. Well, that is what Shanika did. Who is Shanika, you ask? Shanika was a cool, funny young woman in her early 20s who fell in love with Derek Frank. We called him Meaty. Meaty and I shared cousins. He was a sweet teddy bear. So I thought. So did Shanika. She fell head over heels for him, so much so that she had a baby with him. It was later after their beautiful bouncy baby boy was born, Mean Street had surfaced and the streets began to talk about the physical abuse Shanika endured. It was a dark day and Meaty's abuse took a turn for the worse. He had heard that his baby boy was not biologically his. His rage became so great that he conjured up an idea to kidnap Shanika from the parking lot outside of her job, along with his accomplice, and forced her into the trunk of her car. They drove her to somewhere in Manhattan and set the car ablaze. I can only imagine the fear and pain she was in when she was on her way to expire. If you are in a state where you are looking for love, I commission you to search deep within yourself and learn to really love yourself first. Make yourself a priority. Tell yourself you love yourself. Go ahead. Tell yourself you love yourself. Say, I love myself.
I love myself.
Thank you.
All right, great stuff. Once again, I'm gonna give some feedback at the end. Great stuff, Lamar. Everybody send some love in the chat if you haven't already. Let's continue to go. Lamar, let me see what time. Just under 2 minutes. You were about 1 minute and 56 seconds. All right, cool.
Okay.
Let's go to the next person. Great job, Lamar. I'm just gonna call you out if you don't have your hand raised. Once again, this is speakers class. This is not the regular stuff. Y'all be coming here to speak, baby. Everybody's gonna speak. So like, let's just get in the habit of being the first person to raise your hand. Get that. If you feel nervous, get the nerves out the way. Like, you know, jump right into it. The only way to do it is to do it. So let's continue to go. If you got your camera off, I'm not sure why. Like this is speakers class. You know? Like, I don't understand why you got your camera off. Your camera should be on. You know? You should be ready to go. All right. So now I'm gonna call somebody who doesn't have the camera on. I'm gonna call Marlene because Marlene specifically chose to put the camera off. All right. Cool. Let's go with Marlene. Marlene, you hiding again? All right. Y'all be using tactics. I told you about them tactics y'all use. All right. Who's next? Raise your virtual hand or we just calling you. Let's go with Ryan.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, my phone froze up.
No worries. Ready?
So growing up, yeah. So growing up, I was probably the only one in my neighborhood out of my boys that had a dad in the household. My boys didn't even know I had my father. My pops was present in the household, but he wasn't very pleasant. How many people had father and parent issues? Mine worked a lot, which I could respect. When he was off, he wasn't someone you want to be around. He was a master manipulator, very selfish, a hoarder, and he liked to drink, just to name a few things. I went through life seeing him mentally abuse my mom. As I got older, I started to resent him because he was supposed to show me how to be a man and he never did. He's supposed to teach me. So I went through my ups and downs in life trying to figure it out. I grew up, I got married, and at this point I vowed to never be the type of husband or father that mine was. My wife got pregnant, and although all the pregnancy myths pointed towards a girl, I knew I was gonna have my first boy. There was no other names, to be honest. It was just Ryan Jr. So Ryan Jr. was born September 20, 2020. That's the day my life truly began. So I'm watching my boy grow, and my wife and I are showing him all the things early on, how to crawl, how to do sign language, and teaching him right from wrong. I wanted to teach him everything. I caught myself even teaching him things that he shouldn't even know, like how to use the key to unlock the cabinets. I had to stop myself one day and ask myself, like, dude, like, what are you doing? So one day I see my boy trying to climb up on his ottoman like he always did to get the remote off our fireplace. And I'm constantly redirecting his attention to other things, not thinking about it. We all know how kids are. So we're carrying on throughout the day, and hours had passed by this time. And here he is trying to climb up on top of that ottoman to get his remote that's on top of the fireplace. So I redirected him again. But after I redirected him this time, I sat back and thought to myself, my boy's climbing up on this ottoman focused on getting this remote. No matter how many times I redirect him, he's still focused on it. He doesn't care about what may happen in the midst of it. He's not worried about falling. He's just focused on what he wants. And in that moment, I said to myself, this kid is fearless. And I asked myself, if Ryan Jr. could be fearless, he hasn't even spent a year in this world, why can't you? You see, he's taking these risks because he doesn't realize the consequences of his actions. And he doesn't even care. So all this time, I thought that I was teaching him things, and it turns out he was teaching me. Thank you, son.
All right, great job. A little bit over 2 minutes. That was about 2:11. All right, cool. Great stuff. Overall, great job. Love it, love it. I would say pick up the energy. And I just want to point that up so that the next people who go up just bring up your energy. But great job. Let's go. Let's go. Send some love in the chat for my guy, Ryan. Okay, Ryan, stepping into action. Great stuff. Also, if you don't have your speech prepared, it's okay. This is speaker class. Like, just start speaking about your life, because everything that you have written down on that piece of paper or written down in your phone, it's already within you. You've already experienced this. Like this, it's not something that you have to create. It's just something you have to just articulate. And so that goes for anybody who is feeling like, okay, I don't have a speech. All right. We want 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Dos minutos. Let's go with Capital Blueprint.
I just knew this shit was coming to me next.
You knew it was coming.
I just knew it because I was teaching class last week, right? So I didn't have it prepared, but now that I'm listening, I see where we headed with it. So I'm gonna get it together. All right. Let me see.
This is a good time to help you prepare real quick, to help everyone else as well. If you don't have your speech, remember tragedy, tipping point, triumph. This week, the homework is going to be like moving the order around a little bit, because you can move the order around. But when you first start, it's way easier for you to talk from tragedy, tipping point, triumph, because you've experienced that, right? So you can select one time in your life where you went through some sort of tragedy, some sort of down, where you thought, oh man, this is it. It's over. I'm down. But then you had a tipping point where you bounced back. And then you had the triumph where you really showed up and shined out. So just, always remember that tragedy, tipping point, and triumph. That's your go-to. Everybody put go-to in the chat. Put go-to in the chat. Anytime, like, and this goes for every facet of your business. This goes for when you're speaking to people in conversation. This goes for all of it. So if you just remember, you're going to speak about the problem, right? Then you want to speak about what happened, like what happened, what did you do about the problem? And then you want to talk about the result. That's the same thing. It's tragedy, tipping point, and triumph. So just remember that. As long as you have that, you can always make a successful sell. You can always make a successful pitch. You can always make a successful offer. And you can always have a successful story, because we love tragedy and triumph. All right, ready, T?
Yep. All right, so let me say, as a young kid, right? As a young kid, who in here always or seem to find a way to adapt to their environment? If that's you, put that's you in the chat. So coming up, my parents, rather say my father and my uncles, they all was in the street life, right? And which impacted my life, right? Because I couldn't come out as much. My mother didn't want me out there because they was into a lot of street activity that she felt could cause harm on me. So she kept me in the house at a young age. So me being in the house at a young age, watching friends play from the window and me sitting back, just eating snacks, turned me into a person that I didn't want to be, right? So I wound up gaining a lot of weight at a very young age. I was over 250 pounds at like the age of 15 years old because I was in the house all the time, just eating because I couldn't come out. When I finally was able to come out, you know, what people I thought was my friends wasn't my friends, right? Even some family members, all they really much did was pretty much joke on me, clown on me, and that turned me into a different type of monster, right? How many people changed from the way they got taught, or it's the way somebody taught them and it just changed their actions and their attitude, right? If that's you, that's me. So what happened is I started adopted to my environment. All my uncles, my father, they was all into the streets. So I too became that same person. I was out robbing, stealing, selling drugs, joined gangs, you know, in the process of me joining these gangs and out there robbing and stealing and running the streets, I lost the weight. So with me losing the weight and having this gorgeous face, that brought people into my environment, that brought people into me now. I had so many people that was under me that followed my lead, and me became the monster I was. I taught them, but I taught them the street life. So I had them doing things for me, criminal activities, you know, selling drugs for me and so forth, right? As I got older, I realized that wasn't the route for me. And my mindset kicked in and I changed. And this is how y'all see me now, full-time entrepreneur, teaching to my people, giving back to my people, supporting my people, becoming the glue to my people, being a problem solver, you know, in a positive way. And Royalty is here.
All right, great stuff, great stuff. Everybody send some love in the chat, Royalty. Great job, Queen. That was just about 2:32. We want to get it down to 2 minutes. That was a good job being on the fly. Great stuff. Everybody send some love to T in the chat. We're going to take 2 more people, and then we're going to move on to another exercise. Remember, once again, look, I'm just going to point this out all the time because it's just like, it's kind of like a record playing over and over. Be the first person to raise your hand because there's benefits in it. Like when you raise your hand, you're going to come up here, you're going to get work, you get exposed to doing the work, and you grow a lot faster. If you stay in the background, your growth is just going to take a little bit longer to accelerate. So who here wants to have a quick turnaround? If you've been making 6 figures in 12 months, but you now want to make 6 figures in 6 months, let me know in the chat. Put that's me in the chat. If you've been making 5 figures in a month, but now you want to make 5 figures in a day, put that's me in the chat. I'm telling you right now, like T is no stranger to making money, anything like that, but she wanted a different route, right? And when she came into this program, she told me, we had a long conversation. She was one of the first people we do the consultations with, and I laugh and joke because T was like the Love Plus mascot. Right, T was the one, you know, she had the logos on her back, she had the logo on her background, she was always representing, right? And she understands firsthand the point of emphasis when it comes to personal development. So I want everybody to just take that leadership role and realize this is the only opportunity that you have, and you want to get as many reps as possible. If you are allowing yourself to sit in the background, you're not going to get as many reps as possible. So for you, like, just think about where you're at right now, right? And let's just take it back 3 months ago, right? So 3 months ago, you were in a certain situation, a certain space, and now 3 months has passed, now you're here. Do you think that you could be further along? I just want to know in the chat. Just let me know if you think you could be further along in the chat. Just let me know. Just put a 1 in there. Keep it simple if you need to. Just put a 2 if you felt like you maximize everything. Look, I can't even grow anymore. All right, cool. Put a 2 in there. But if you feel like you can move, you know, some part of the needle forward, you know, I think I can. So I'm just letting everybody know, like, take every opportunity, because I'm not going to be able to just call on everybody all the time. And as these classes grow larger, it's less time for this. So you just get in the habit of raising your hand first, coming up and being that person to get the value, because that's where the most value is at, is in raising your hand. All right, cool. So we're going to take one more person. In fact, we're not even going to take one more person because it's 11. It's 8:11. So, all right, cool. This is what's going to happen. We're going to do a chain link story. Typically, what I would love to do is start out with 3 sentences each, but Brendetta's going to say 2 sentences of a story. Moya's going to come in and then chime in on the next 2 sentences, but it all has to link, and it all has to be part of the same story. And it all has to be only 2 sentences. Now, we could play elimination and make it fun and play elimination and get people eliminated and stuff, but I ain't going to do it too much right now. I just want to get the story basis down pat first. I want to get your creativity down pat first. I want to get you open to moving on the fly, and what Sunshine will call being put on the spot. Okay, so I guess that's what we'll call it, being put on the spot. So who's first? Because if you raise your hand, look, this is the benefit right here in real live time. If you're first, there's no pressure on you. You get to make it up. Oh, Brendan done did it. So like this is part of it. If you're first, you get to make it up. Now, if you wait, now you gotta, and the worst part is being last, because now you have to remember everything that everybody else said. So this is how it works. So your sentence, right? So Brendetta's got the easiest job because she's gonna come up and make the first 2 sentences. Moya's gonna come up next. After Moya, right? I mean, when Moya goes, Moya has to say something that Brendetta said. And then she has to bring a new element into it, right? She doesn't have to say the exact same sentence, but you have to mention something, right? As you go along, mention something from the last person. Right now, let's say the next person is Betty. After Betty now has to mention at least 2 things now, right? So we're going to get up to 3. We're not going to go that far. We're going to get up to 3. So after Betty, everybody else, you have to mention 3 things from the past. So this is where it gets challenging and tricky, but this is where it gets fun as well. So Brendetta, let's take it away. Let's start and generate this story. 2 sentences.
I was hit by a car. No help in sight.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Can somebody help me out so that way we get the flow going fast? The other challenge to this is knowing your place, right? Knowing your position. So this is the order that we're going in. Who's gonna help me write this order down? Who's quick? Who's quick? All right. You sure? Because you got the stone tablets. I don't know how long you're gonna take to edge it in, but let me know. Okay. All right, so we got Brendetta first. We got Moya second. Betty third. Jasmine fourth. Sunshine fifth. Lamar sixth. P seven. Naya 8. David 9. Ryan 10. Anissa 11. Merlene, I think she's out of here. I think she's just ear hustling at this point. And Francis, I don't know what you're doing, Francis. Are you participating or are you just listening in on the back end? So if you are participating, put your camera on and let's get it. All right, cool. Drop that list in the chat. And I just want it to flow. So here's where elimination comes in at. Elimination comes in if you don't. In fact, I don't want elimination yet because I know some of y'all using y'all tactics. Y'all probably get eliminated on purpose just so y'all can stop going, which defeats the purpose. But the point is, you got 3 seconds to get into the comments. Don't sit around and go, oh, I don't know. Just go right into it and don't overthink. Don't try to write anything down. Don't try to do any of that. Just pay attention and watch how this magic works, and you'll improve your speaking in no time. All right, cool. Let's go, Brendetta.
I was hit by a car. There was no help in sight.
Brendetta was hit with a car and there was no help in sight. I moved to the USA in
Whoa,
20.
whoa. Hold on. It's one story.
Okay.
So that's the fault. Don't say Brendetta. This is you. You got hit by the car. Brendetta talking about you. You got hit by that car.
Okay.
I want to change it. Can I change it? I don't want her to be in my car.
Yes, please change that because I ain't want to say that.
I've been hit by a car before too, so I can say it. Like I have been.
Yeah, I get hit by cars, but anyway, that's that Jamaica living. All right, cool. Go ahead, Brendetta.
The front door was wide open, and no one was home but me.
My front door was wide open and no one was there but me. I moved from Canada
No, let's go back. You do not repeat the same thing she said. You just mentioned something that she said. So basically like this.
Say something out of-
Open. The front door was open. It was no one there but me. I saw a shadow by the door. Like, so now we could connect to the situation, but don't repeat what she said. All right.
Just connect to what she said.
Yeah. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, cool. Ready? Start it back over from the top, Brendetta. And this is the last time. More you using your tactics, you're about to be kicked out. All right, let's go.
I'm gonna be kicked out.
The front door was wide open, but no one was home but me.
The front door was wide open. I walked through the door.
Do I go?
Yeah. All right. Look, last time I told y'all not to use y'all tactics on me today. Look, y'all stalling today. No stalling.
I didn't know if she was done. I don't.
Look.
Okay, go.
Okay. There's only 2 sentences each. That's it. It's only 2 sentences. So listen for the 2 sentences. Whether they may be short.
She said she walked through the door.
Yeah, I understand, but
Right.
let them look. This is the thing. Let them do that. Like if they want to cheat themselves, let them cheat themselves. At some point, we can't keep going back and forth, right, about it. So if she wants to play small, let her play small. So this is the last time we're gonna start over.
She walked through the door big.
Right. She still said the same thing, right? That Brendetta said. I was just like, oh, I was just trying to get her to move on. So that's why I didn't say nothing. Just let Betty come in.
Grab the knife. I grabbed my gun. Something.
Like, come on, man. Like toast with nothing on it. Like, all right, go ahead, Brendetta.
Oh,
My
God.
front door was wide open. No one was home but me.
I walked through the door and I grabbed a gun. Betty?
I grabbed the gun and I shot at the air.
And then I ran to get some chips.
All right, no, you see. So who did that? Who's Moya? You started that. You started the 1 sentence chain. I said 2 sentences. Stop being slick, y'all. Come on, man. All right, cool. Yeah. First of all, I don't know where your mind's at.
I don't think we understand the assignment. I don't think
Right,
we
why
understand
we
the
gotta
assignment.
deal with guns? Like, what's the guns?
You mean
Like,
2
what's the-
Lots
sentences?
of chips.
Word, I just said that in the chat. I'm like, damn, y'all criminal minded tonight. What is going on?
Nah, I was going for the chips. I was going for the chips.
All
I
right,
don't know.
yeah.
Going for the
What?
head. Look, I was going for the head.
Look, y'all better
Let's change
chill.
the
Y'all
story.
better chill. You said you bust a shot in the air now. You didn't say
Well,
that.
but I was going for the head. I just don't know if somebody was really there. Look.
All right, so cool. Pick it up, Jasmine.
I don't understand the 2 sentences. I'm so sorry. So am I repeating the sentence they said, the person before me said, and then making my sentence?
You are not.
No, it's
This
a
is-
storytelling. It's a storytelling. So you continue the sentence. So if I'm like, okay, I went outside and saw a bird, you're gonna continue with however you saw the bird, or the bird was a person, or you
So
just
it's only
continue
one
the
sentence
actual
though,
story.
right?
It's two sentences per person.
Okay.
It's okay. He says you're not first. You're not first. You're not
Are we
first.
supposed to
Yeah,
get-
what everybody ahead of me are not good examples. I know I'm not first. I don't know.
I got y'all. I got
Are we supposed
y'all.
to using the 3 T's?
I did my
That's
2
what I was trying to do.
sentences. I
I was
did my
like trying to start with tragedy or something like that, and then I mean, is that
No.
what we're
Mm.
No, let's not make it complicated, y'all. The only thing that we're doing is this. We're telling a story together collectively, and somebody's gonna say 2 sentences, and the next person's gonna say 2 sentences, and we're just telling a story. That's all we're doing right now. And once again, and this is the thing about leadership. You see what Naya said? Naya said the people in front of her did not lead well, which she's accurate on that. And I think everybody's in agreement with that, but we're having fun with it. But the point is, everything you do, who's that? Hold on, let's mute him.
I got it.
All right, thanks. So everything you do matters. And this matters, y'all. Like this, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like your speaking matters. So it doesn't matter that you think that you're not going to be a public speaker. The thing is, you are already a public speaker. Anytime you speak to somebody else, it's called public, right? It's a public thing. You speak to somebody else, it doesn't matter if it's one person. So let's just get in the habit of speaking and getting into the flow of just being comfortable, y'all. So let's start one more time from the top. And can we please be good role models this time? Brendetta, I'm gonna have to put some blame on this one for you because you did set them up with 2 quick sentences. You did set them up that way. So all right, cool. Ready?
Wait a minute. You said 2 sentences.
No, you did it. You did it right. You just did it. You just did 2 sentences that were short, and everybody just copied that. So but, all right, cool. Let's change the story up. Let's give something different. And here we go.
It was a sunny day. I was outside riding my bike and saw a family of ducks.
And that's 1 sentence, by the way.
Sure. It's a compound, 2 compounds. But
Okay.
okay.
I picked up the ducklings and I took them home. And I kept them as pets. Betty?
I kept them as pets, but they were so messy, sitting the whole porch up that I had to give them away.
So went to the and started selling them for 50 cents on a dime.
I can't hear you. You muffled. Say that again, baby.
I went to the corner store and started selling them for 50 cents on a dime. Kids wanted them. Their parents were saying no. I needed to find a way.
So while I was at the corner store, it was hot. I decided to pick up some juice and some soda because these damn ducks and these kids was driving me crazy. We had to figure something out.
As I proceeded to leave this corner store, one of the ducklings followed me, so I kept him as my pet. We call him Grover.
Y'all calling him Grover. Well, I'm just going to take him over to the next animal shelter because I no longer want to deal with the pet no more.
Oh, God.
Maybe they got somebody that'll take care of it.
While I was at the corner store as well, I saw these ducklings and decided I wanted to go and find them from the shelter so I could cook them.
Oh gosh.
Is that 1 sentence or 2?
Who's that?
David?
And as they were cooking, I decided to add some carrots and onions to that duckling soup. Then I called my kids to come and eat.
But we all know how kids are. They're really picky. They didn't really like the duckling soup. So I went and got some chicken.
That's funny.
Who is done with that?
Kenya?
Oh,
I
God.
think Anise is next.
I'm next, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out.
Take it from chicken.
The chicken.
Oh.
So I called in the chicken at the Chinese store, and they said 10 minutes. So I went down there in 10 minutes, and I picked up some wine while I was at it. And then I came home. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. Good.
All right, first of all, look, let me jump in there. Y'all crazy today, man. Y'all crazy. Moya, what's wrong with you, Moya? First of all, Moya found the gun inside the house. Then she kidnapped the ducks. And what's going on with Moya today? Moya, you've been watching true crimes. You've been watching Lifetime. You got to cut it out, okay? No wonder why you can't sleep at night. You're up watching midnight crime stories. All right, look, great job, everybody. Send some love to each other. That was great. Are y'all ready to get it again, though? I think we're going to start with different leaders.
I love y'all for this laugh. This laugh was everything.
Yes, this was great. I love it. I love it. Let's keep going.
I'm game.
Okay. Shout out to all the leaders who did before. Can we send some love to everybody who started it out? Great stuff. Let's shuffle the deck a little bit and let's mix it up. Okay, this is how we're going to mix it up. We're going in reverse order. Okay, so the person that's last, but however, Danielle was not here. Valerie wasn't here. Francis, she was not on with the camera. So let's start from Francis. Valerie, are you able to speak?
Yes.
All right, there she go. Cool. So let's go with Francis. Then we go with Valerie. Then we go Danielle. Then we go Ryan. Then we go, Danielle, then Anissa, then Ryan, and then the whole reverse. So then David, Naya, Sunshine, everybody else. All right. Cool.
Ready?
So are you ready, Valerie? Are you ready? Wait, who do I say first? I've lost my camera.
Francis.
Francis. All right. Go, Francis.
All right. I was driving to work and I saw this homeless lady at the bus shelter. I pulled over and I went to the deli and I bought her some coffee and some and Danish.
You next,
Valerie? I also saw this homeless lady and she asked me for $5.
Hold on. You're chain linking the story. It's one story, but all you get to tell a part of the story. It's all one story. So she got her food, and that's what she left off at. She got her some snacks or some food.
Francis is a guy.
Oh, Francis got him some. Francis, my bad, Francis.
No worries, brother.
Francis got him some snacks, some food, and all right, cool.
Okay, so I don't know where to start.
So look, put it this way. Don't be so.
I was going to start with the homeless. That I saw the homeless lady, and I saw that Francis gave her some food.
Okay. It's all one story, right? And this goes for anything. If you're not clear on something, just say I'm not clear on it. Can you repeat that? Repeat the question. Don't sit there in uncertainty. Like you understand? Don't sit in.
I heard what she said, but just
what?
I don't know.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do, Valerie. We're gonna challenge you to chain link the story. So Francis came on. He said, "All right." He was driving and he saw someone at the bus stop. It was a homeless person around there. He got out and he went to the corner store and he got some snacks and food. So now what else happened from that point on?
And so I passed the homeless lady on the street and she was eating some snacks. So I asked her if she needed something warm to wear because it was cold outside. So I gave her a jacket so that she could be comfortable as she was eating her snack.
All right, cool. I'm gonna let it go with that part, but remember, you two are the same person. So Francis, he came and he said what he said, but now you're Francis now, right? And essentially, you're the one who gave.
Okay, see, I missed that part.
All right. So if you want, you could do it again, or you could just stop at where you were, where you gave her the clothes and different things like that, and then we can just take it from there. It's up to you.
Okay. So once I gave her the food that I bought for her for a snack, then I offered her a jacket because it was cold outside. So she said yes, she was cold. So I went to the car and got her a jacket. And she said, "Thank you."
As I was walking away from her, she asked me, "Can I stay at your house tonight?" And I said, "Sure, get in the car. Let's go."
when we got in the car, we had a conversation about her situation and how she ended
Because
up.
I've done all this credit stuff.
Oh, it's not my turn.
No, it's your turn. He just had his mic off mute. On mute. I mean, mic off mute. So you can
Okay.
start.
When we got in the car, we said we went to get something to eat. When we got in the car, as we headed to my house, we started to have a conversation about how she ended up in the situation, and her story blew me.
You see, her story wasn't that much different from mine. What came next, I would never expect.
It turned, but that's Ryan.
David's turn.
Oh, but because the story was not that much like yours, there was a different plot that happened to me.
All right, back-to-back cheats. Like y'all cheaters today, back-to-back. 2 sentences, 2 of them. Not 1, 2. That's 1 sentence. All right, do it again, Dave.
Because the story wasn't too much different from yours, but mine had a different plot to it. So there was a different chain of events that took place with me.
I realized that Dave threw me off. I don't even really know what to say after his. Dave, can you do yours one more time? I'm sorry.
And this time, Dave, when you do it again, remember, you're not a different person. It's the
Yeah,
same.
that's what threw me off, because he kind of said like he was responding to the one before, to Ryan. So I guess maybe just continue from Ryan's story, but still keep the story the same. Like you the same person.
Okay, wait a minute. Now I'm kind of stuck.
Okay, so once again, we're telling one story. That's all we're doing. Everybody is telling one story. We're telling one story. So what's happening is, and to be transparent, you're probably doing 2 things at once. That's probably what's happening. You're probably listening over here or something and doing something else, and that's causing that. But what happens is that now you affect other people. You see the dynamic in that. That's why I say to everybody, you do matters. Just so everybody take everything that you do as if this is the best thing you're going to do. If you're splitting it up and multitasking, what that means is that it's not really that important to you. That's what that means. It's not. I'm not making it up. That's just what that means.
That's facts.
All right. So you can do it again. This time, just take it from from what he said. If you need to go back, I'll let Ryan go back again, because Ryan set you up for failure. And the reason why I'm allowing it to go like that, because I just want to see what transpires, and I want y'all to see it in real time too. When Ryan didn't give you 2 sentences, he threw you off. When you didn't give the same context, you threw Naya off. So it's just one mistake that you can make that could change everything in your life. That not only affects you, but it affects the next person. So Ryan, you take it back from what Anissa said.
All right, so she told me her story. Is what I didn't. When she told me her story, I could never expect it. But hold on, give me a second. Her story wasn't that much different from mine, but what actually happened next, I could never expect. That's 2 sentences,
And that was and that was mind-blowing to me, because it was something that I could relate to, and I never thought I would be able to relate to it in such deep capacity.
When I was 15, I was homeless as well. I remember someone else also picking me up and taking me home, but my outcome was much different.
The story changed. All right, so I'm gonna continue off of what Naya, say that one more time.
My last sentence was, but my outcome was much different.
Okay. The outcome was much different, which I'm glad for, which I'm grateful for. I can now look at people different and communicate with people different, knowing that there's people out there that want to help.
Although I don't mind helping this woman, but now we're 2 months later and she's still in my damn house. So now I got to figure out a way to get her out.
Lord have mercy. Am I going to have to call the law, or is she going to make me go back to my old ways?
So I had to tap into my trainer by my mindset coach. I counted down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and went in the next room.
As I stood there in the room by myself, I wanted to choke the hell out of her, but I had to remember that I was trying to help.
I decided to go in my closet and draw for that gun because it's going to be between me and her, and I choose me.
As I was standing there with the gun in my hand, I realized this is absolutely the wrong thing to do. She was paranoid and afraid. I was able to make some arrangements at a local shelter, and she was happily replaced in a new home.
Y'all say today, praise the Lord.
Thank God for Brendetta.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
Brendetta brought it home. Brendetta.
Oh my God.
Good job, y'all.
You guys are
All right.
vicious.
So good stuff.
What's wrong with y'all?
You're vicious people.
Some of y'all got twisted minds, man. We're
Whoa.
gonna have to do something. We have to do something.
That gun keeps coming up.
This gun keep coming up. I mean, what's up with this gun?
I don't know, Francis. They got some wicked thoughts, man.
I'm telling you.
So honestly, look. Honestly, I want to know your feedback. Drop from a scale of 1 to 10. How did you think you did? First individually. I want to know how you think I did individually. Scale of 1 to 10. Drop it in the chat.
Chat.
And don't think too hard. Just drop it in the chat. Like, be honest about yourself. Drop it in the chat. There's no right or wrong answer here. I just want you to gauge and yourself and start to measure your own speaking characteristics. And then that's what you were working on, your characteristics. And although the main characteristic here was this, it was literally improvisation, right? Being able to be what we call creative. This is in your blood. You don't have to think too much to be creative. Just nothing is wrong. See, the issue is school has trained us to think that there's a right or wrong. So every time you're thinking about something, you're second guessing yourself. So now I want you to write down collectively, how did we do collectively? From 1 to 10, what was that number? Okay, good. So we got some areas of improvement. I think we could do a lot better. If y'all think we could do a lot better, drop 1 in the chat. And if it's fun for y'all, this is something that y'all want to continue to do, we can continue to do that, but we will have exercises like this in real time inside of the Zoom calls. But I want to put something together outside of the Zoom calls. But okay, cool. We got the ones in the chat, right? All right. So this is what I really want to do. I want some strong leaders to come up here and start us out. And please, look, you can choose to do whatever you want. You want to be like Moya and keep bringing up the gun. You're not challenging yourself. It's funny, but you're not really challenging yourself. You're playing small and safe. And when you play small and safe, you're going to get small results. It's not a crime. It's not an issue. But once again, we're looking to accelerate our results, right? So if we're looking to accelerate our results, stop playing small. Really challenge yourself to go out and create something within this body of work, because this is a fantastic opportunity for you to notice something. And after we go this round, I want to bring some people up and just share their thoughts on what this exercise has done for you. All right. And another thing too is, look, show up and show out. All right. So I'm going to start with, let's see who raised their hand first. Let's go with that person. All right. So this is the order that we're going in. Okay. We're going to go with Jasmine. So can somebody write this order down and drop this in the chat? Jasmine, Betty, Royalty, Sunshine, Brendetta, Lamar, Moya, Anissa, Danielle, David, Francis, Naya, Valerie. All right, here we go. Take it away. 2 sentences. Actually, let's do 1 sentence each.
All right, let's get it.
Let's do 1 sentence each. That's usually easier, but I just want to see how it works with us. 1 sentence each.
Hey, coach, did you name me yet? Did you put my name in there?
Ryan? No, Ryan, you're gonna go last. I didn't put your name in there. Francis, did we call you out? Yeah, call Francis out. I seen Francis. All right.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Before Ryan.
Who Sunshine? You dropped the list, right?
No, I didn't. I was so busy writing it. No, but I don't know if I could.
I'm after David.
Who got the
Francis
list?
after David.
Do the list again, but slow it down.
All right.
No, I heard the list, but Jazz is about to go and I'm close up. So between trying to listen to keep the story going and trying to type this in at the same time, it's going to be like, you understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying who got the list of who to go. Like that could just be done right now. So I'm gonna say the list one more time, but it might change now, being that people have moved around inside this list. So when I ask for you to drop the list, I want you to actually put the list in this chat. I don't want you to write it on a different platform.
You be saying it so fast, King.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna give you time at the end to catch up. Like if you're right, that's why I said don't use your stone tablets, because you're gonna edge it in. How long is it gonna take you to make it?
Oh my God.
That's why
I'm coming for you, King Crew. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Okay, Moya, number 2. All right, I got.
No, I'm Sunshine number 1.
Okay. All right, ready? So here's the list. Here's the list. We're gonna go with Jasmine, Betty, Brendetta, Lamar, Moya, Sunshine, Naya, Anissa, Royalty, Danielle, David, Francis, Ryan, Valerie. And look.
Where did you put Brendetta? Because I wrote it down and now you're changing it. And so now I'm gonna have to squeeze this in.
The third person, Jasmine, Betty, Brendetta.
Just forget about it, Sunshine. Like it's not that deep. It's really this is really what's supposed to happen. When I read out the names, you're supposed to be able to just know who you come after. It's not that hard. See, Sunshine does not have to write this down. I'll just ask can she write it down? But you heard the order, and you should know who's before you. That's it. And then you just go. All right, ready? Let's take it away.
It was 6 o'clock and my eyes opened before my alarm went off.
Something woke me, a loud noise. I'm not sure what it was though. Should I get up and look?
Once I heard the noise, I decided I'm gonna go on and look. First, I looked out the window.
I looked out the window and I noticed that there was an intruder.
The intruder happened to be my father roaming around outside.
I couldn't decide if I was happy to see him or not happy to see him. I didn't like the way that I was feeling.
He called my name just how he called me when I was a little girl. I was afraid.
I hesitated to go answer the door, but then something clicked in my head and told me to open it.
Something told me to open it, but I still opened it. And to my surprise, it was just my little brother.
He was panicking and worried because although I thought it was my dad, he told me that for some reason they couldn't find dad.
I was a little distraught listening to this and really didn't know what to do.
Suffer from dementia, so I was very concerned.
Dementia plagued my family. It really started off with my grandpa, and now it got my dad.
So I got myself together with my brother, said a quick prayer, and then we went to look for him because usually he tries to find his way back to the home where he grew up.
All right, cool. Was that easier this time around? Because it felt like when I said one sentence, everybody was just clearly going on two sentences. Like it felt like. It honestly felt like when I said sentences, everybody went on one.
Okay, for real though, I clearly can't follow directions because I swear you said 2 sentences. I'm sorry.
I said that last time. I said this time, y'all, let's go with one sentence. And then the beginning, the very first person went on 2 sentences, and everybody else went on 2 sentences. So I'm just showing you in real time the importance of what happens within conversations, right? Like you have to be the one that narrates the conversation, that drives the conversation, that drives the dialogue. Because if you're the one that drives the dialogue, what happens to you is this: everything else follows. So I just want to know from everybody, what was this exercise useful for to you? Like, why was it useful to you? Did you discover anything about yourself? Was there anything there that you would like to share that maybe somebody else can take away from here? Just take your virtual hands down, everybody who doesn't want to answer this question. The other thing too,
to listen.
The other
and
thing too,
understand what.
oh, who's that? Raise your virtual hand. The other one I think is this. I think most of us just really complicated things versus just letting it go, just letting it flow. That's what I believe, but let's find out. So Sunshine, can you call on the hands? I want to get a charger real fast for this device.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, come through, Queen. Is she there?
Oh, me?
No, Jazz.
Oh, Jazz.
She might not be there. Queen Brendetta, come through, Queen.
I'm always here, baby. I'm always here, baby. I'm always here, baby. I'm always here. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. I'm always here. I'm always here.
What's going on? Are you here to answer the question?
Lord, this hand was up since 6:30. Okay, I don't know why it's up.
Oh, okay.
But I'm having a great time. If that helps. Okay.
Okay, Queen Brendetta.
Yes, the exercise helped me to listen more to what the person before me said so that I could relate and be able to follow the instructions given as far as, all of us doing a combined story, putting ourselves in the person before's shoes. So I think that's good for communication and speaking as well.
Absolutely. Can you there?
Yeah, but can you call on the hands while I'm doing this charger situation? Thank you.
All right. Come through, Queen Lamar.
Just to piggyback off of Brendetta, yeah, it's for me, it's listening. I work with kids, so we do this a lot as icebreakers to get them to learn how to listen to what is going on with other people, other individuals. And and we do it as an acting exercise as well. You have to be actively listening to what comes right before you, so you know how to add on to the conversation.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming through, Queen. King Francis, come talk to us.
Yes, it taught me to, I said, be an attentive listener, which is different from being an attentive, active listener, allow you to listen, comprehend, and pivot, able to pivot on a dime, so it allows you to have a flow of conversation with someone. So you can have a conversation with someone knowing that you have to know where they left off of, so you can add to it, so you can so the conversation can flow.
Absolutely. I love that word pivot. You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you, King. Queen Betty.
Sorry.
Oh, you good? Queen Betty, come talk to us.
For me, it was more of like an eye opener, like thinking about when you're in this room, right? You're in this room with millionaires and you're talking to people, like just being able to insert yourself, right? Because if you're networking, you're trying to get to know people, you got to be able to get in there and just talk the game, whatever it is, right? Whether you just making up stuff on the fly, or you really just know what you're talking about, but being able to be prepared to have those conversations that you're not expecting.
Absolutely. This is one of those, I think a great icebreaker is definitely a listening technique to this. It's one of those stay ready so you don't have to get ready type of situations. And so I think that even though we played this as a game, we can apply this in so many areas of our life. Just looking at paying attention to not only what we're listening to, but everything that's going on around us, and always expect the unexpected, because in this situation, you had no idea of what the person was going to say. It could have started off emotional, and then the next thing you know, somebody's upside down in the toilet. So you may have been preparing your mind, which is what we kind of sort of do. Like you're listening to the previous people and you're getting ready to speak, thinking that the story is in this lane. And then the next thing you know, the person before you takes it all the way to the left, and now you have to come up with something totally different. So expect the unexpected and stay ready so you don't have to get ready, family. Y'all know what it is. We MMA all day, baby. Let's go.
All right, that's great stuff. Great feedback. So yeah, just once again, this is an opportunity. Anytime you get these opportunities, just really take it and play full out with it, right? And so I appreciate everybody who did play full out with it, who had fun. Once again, I want you to know everything that you think that you need is already inside of you. And part of doing this exercise is showing you that you don't have to think too much. You just got to go with what's being presented in front of you and just make the best of it. And that's the same thing with life. You just go with what's presented in front of you and make the best of it. All right, cool. Everybody unmute, send each other some love, clap it up, snap it up, bring that beautiful energy.
Much love.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Great job, everyone.
Good job, great job.
Great job. That's right.
Thank you for the laughs. I appreciate y'all.
Let's go.
Yes.
Amazing.
Love always, love always.
So here's the homework for next week, right? So during this week, this is what I want you to do. I want you to create a 30-second video, a 1-minute video, and all of it's just, just talking about yourself. Just 30, it could be whatever you want. 30-second videos, 2 separate videos, and a 1-minute video, just talking about yourself. Whatever points you want to bring up. If you want to do a story, do a story. But here's the speech part of the homework. The speech, and this is separate once again. The speech part of the homework is to use the tragedy, tipping point, and triumph, the 3 T's. You want to use that, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to use triumph first, right? I want you to use triumph first. So don't use tragedy first. When you do this 2-minute speech, use triumph first, right? So when you do triumph first, this is what happens. You're going to tell everybody who you are now, right? The accomplishments that you made and where you stand now. And then you want to talk about the tragedy, and then what made you make that change, turn that corner. And then once again, inside of that speech, you want to give the audience something that they can utilize, so that way they can feel, okay, I'm going to go out and transform my life. So whatever that is, that may be a strong closing. It may be like, chanting. It may be, everybody stand up, get on your feet, say, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Like, just give them a call to action afterwards. And then you should be good. So this is the reminder, anytime you come up and do a speech, if it's 2 minutes, right? At least 2 to 3 touch points in a sense of call and responses, right? And I think some of us came up in here and did that, and you did it well. The other thing I want y'all to start doing is giving eye contact, right? So get in the habit of looking at the screen where there's multiple people at once, so you can give good eye contact. And then the other thing is this. Right now, it's okay for you to read off your paper, but I want y'all to start trusting yourself. We're going to do exercises where you have no paper in front of you, you have nothing in front of you. It's just like you literally just go off the top of the head. Why? Because speaking is already in your heart, and everything that you're going to be talking about is already in you. It happened already. Your story will give you your glory. Get comfortable with sharing your story. I mean, the toughest stuff that you don't want to tell anybody, the things that molded you, the things that shaped you, right? The things that made you. All right. So without further ado, great stuff, everybody. I will be seeing y'all soon. Once again, go inside the group. If you're not part of the group, go and join the group, and just post your work inside that group. Any other question, any other concern before we go? It's time to raise your virtual hand if anything. All right, so we're good. All right, team. See y'all. Love y'all. See y'all soon. Peace.